Oh, oh my goodness! Look at that. 9 p.m. Eastern time. Literally just setting up right now as I'm waiting for folks to join us here. So this is think of this as sort of like the pregame, the pre-show aspect of the Side Quest Live. Joining me tonight will be a couple fantastic folks. We've got a whole heck of a lot of stuff to talk about. Whoo, the baby. So just hold on, sit tight, and we'll see what everybody says about how y'all doing. You all doing good? Yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm sure that you are. Yeah, barely. I'm gonna get the chat showing up here. Show comments on the stage. It does count. It's funny because I started hit the button at 8:50. It took like, oh, there's JJ. How's it going, JJ? The cameraless JJ.
Yeah, I don't know. I hit go, and all of a sudden it glitched out and fucked up. So
Perfect timing.
I
No, I was
messed
just
up.
yeah. I was just saying that I hit go at 8:58, and Exaggerator Moose has already given you heck, and it took like 2 minutes to get this thing up and running for some reason. I think maybe StreamYard might be having some glitchies tonight, but yeah, it's all good.
I'm just underneath my desk right now, making a mess.
Are you hiding underneath there?
Yeah, trying to figure out what USB port this fucking thing is plugged into.
Well, there goes the first 5 minutes where we don't get any swearing done on the show.
I can't help myself.
No,
it's not like you make any money off of it anyway.
That's true. Anyways, consider this the pre-show. So
the preamble. We the people in order to form a more perfect union.
Join Dolly Domofsky, JJ, and
hey.
Turn.
There we go.
I don't know what's going on there, JJ.
Had to be under my desk of USB. Please pay no mind to the doors that are sitting.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
Oh, what a start to this one, huh?
There we go. Oh, you know what? Hi, turn off the camera. Just kidding. As we discuss the lead up to the Switch 2 and Summer Game Fest and IGN Live. It's go time. I even spelled that wrong. And HTTPS.
You got to figure out the right amount of O's because too few and it's kind of boring. Too many, it looks good, but there's a part where it just makes it look like you're saying it's goo time, and you just can't have that.
Yep. Okay, we'll just wait here. Wait for Zachariah, who is online as usual. He's playing Warframe for the last 7 days, apparently.
Yeah, and he posted in the Discord that he discovered a Ludwig video that he didn't know he watched, so he's probably just watching
typical
that.
Jade. Typical Zach. Not typical.
Taking strays out
here. It's goo time.
Yeah, let's give it a goo.
It's gibbity goo. So we'll wait. Wait. Pre-show stuff. We are getting some things going, which is good. That's good. Let me hit the. I'm gonna type in @staff and then @quest64.
There he is.
Oh, there we go. Add him in there. The beautiful young man. Oop. Oh, we are currently experiencing issues with the swapping of streams. This feature has been temporarily disabled. So it looks like just StreamYard might be having issues just in general.
Oh,
I like HD remake.
We're live already?
Yeah, we've been live.
Yeah. Welcome to the SideQuest, your weekly journey into the wonderful world of video games, video game culture, and everything around it. Yeah, it is a crazy week right now. We've already seen some good stuff happening. You can find us again. I got to start off with the same thing. SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV on YouTube and Twitch. Your head's about to fall off, Zach. I'm Dolly. That's JJ. This is Zach right there with cool hat, bitchin' beard.
Team Solo Mid. It's a esports org. I found this hat at Goodwill.
That's awesome. Oh, dude, really? That's actually, it's dope. That's sweet. That's sweet.
How long have they been defunct?
I don't know.
I'm like leaning. Look at me leaning in like an old man. Oh, that looks pretty good there. Good stuff. Good stuff. And he's chowing on things.
I got gum in my mouth. I got energy gum. It's called Recharge. Yeah. I got my dogs in the room.
Ooh, nice.
Well, my dogs yesterday got a hold of this hat and chewed on it.
Well, now it's got some life to it.
It's got character,
Yeah, it's got character.
Skype.
Real quick, want to thank our awesome folks who are on our Patreon. Thank you to Punkdefied, PUNKDEFIED. You can find them everywhere. Fantastic person. Hangs out on Blue Sky mostly, but they're also everywhere else. Also in the Discord. Thank you. He's the main executive, and the producers, Stefan Swanlin, Zero the Prototype, Exaginous, and Jeff Grubb. Y'all are wonderful. Thank you also to the friends of the show. Thank you to the people that just want to say thanks. Very awesome of all of you. We do thank you guys. You guys are great, and we love you. And gents, it is time to have some fun. We've got plenty of things to talk about. We've got a little bit of news. We've got we're going to try to stick to the gooder news today. We've got what we've been playing, which some fun review stuff. Zach might have a real banger potentially. I don't know. I don't want to spoil it. I might have a couple bangers. I don't know. I don't want to spoil it. And we have questions, the question of the week, and based off of the stuff that's in the Discord. You can join our Discord. That's where all the cool people hang out. With that said, I just want to ask you guys, how you both doing?
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm here.
Good. You're here. You're awesome. JJ, I know you also reserved a Switch 2. Zach, I know you didn't. Not
Don't
yet.
care.
Don't care. No. JJ, what's your lining up at what time? You can line up at 9 o'clock, I think, at Best Buy, right? For you,
the Best Buy opens at 9, so I'll get there like at 8 and sit in the car until the line gets too big, and then if at all. That's awesome. Ours opens at midnight on the East Coast, which is you guys get on the 4th. That's kind of awesome, man. Well, yeah. I mean, we get it at the same time. It just so happens I'm deep in the past.
Yeah.
I found that Best Buy, at least for games, they don't really care if you ask them. Like for Death Stranding, the first one when it came out, I went the day before. I was like, "Hey, I got a game to pick up." They're like, "Okay," and I got the game. So I don't know.
Yeah, I have a feeling Nintendo hardware has a little bit different set of.
I'm just saying, if there's a future game coming out and you want to buy physical, just like walk up there and they'll be like, okay.
Yep.
Kmart used to be really good at just putting stuff on the shelf way before it was ever supposed to.
I saw some guy on X, the Everything app.
Yeah, Everything app.
He found
heard of it. Yeah.
He found Switch 2s in public, and he went to Target and he saw them. He was about to, like, the guy took it out and he was
I saw that.
And then the lady walked up and said,
No.
He was this close to having a brick Switch 2 until the 5th.
Yeah.
I like that they've already shipped also big cardboard displays that just say sold out.
Yep.
That's funny. That's a good bit that Nintendo did.
Oh, for sure. Totally. That's like, hey, we want to get this out in front. Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes. So I got mine from Best Buy pre-ordered. I'm actually Exagermoose is actually going to be meeting up with me, and we're going to tag team over there. He didn't pre-order us from Best Buy. He just wants to come and cause trouble, which I think is kind of awesome. So we're going to hang out in the Best Buy parking lot and then just drink like crazy and show up just real rowdy. Drink Red Bull, show up real rowdy on Red Bull,
white peach Red Bull,
cause a ruckus. I may live stream part of it during the.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember when I went to go pick up I did the only time I ever did an actual midnight launch was for the Wii, the original Wii at Target.
Okay.
And a car with a couple of guys in it zipped by holding their Wii that they got at GameStop out the window and yelled the F slur at all of us in line. It was, it was like,
wait a minute, the guys were holding their Wii and they were yelling at you, the F slur?
Yeah.
No, dude. I used to go to a lot of midnight releases for games. And I also used to go for books too. So when Harry Potter was still coming out, like I was at that age, and like so my mom and I would go to these midnight launches for the Harry Potter books. And I remember when the Half-Blood Prince came out, we were walking out of the doors, and some people drove by and they yelled, "Snape kills Dumbledore!" Like
You're not the only person who's ever told that exact same story.
I know,
right?
Which is crazy. But like, I have so many stories like that where I just like there's always people driving by that'll do something when they see a line of people.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, we're gonna get into a little bit of news here. So it's a big week, obviously. A lot of the showcases are taking place this week, and one was announced today for taking place tomorrow. Were you gonna say something, Jage?
No, I was just saying, like, this is a crazy week for video games in general.
It really is.
Like, what
it
a
has,
week.
yeah. So obviously, Sony announced their State of Play, returning tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time, which pisses me off because I'm going to be at a work outing from 5 to 7. So I'll be the guy watching this thing on my phone while everybody else is drinking and eating sliders. So I'm kind of bummed out. And then later that night, I'm meeting up with his Exagermoose. But State of Play.
I go to work from 8 to 4 because I can make my own schedule. So I go 8 to 4, but I'm thinking about just staying late tomorrow so I can just stay and watch.
Plop in and
at work.
Whatever this is.
We can save our predictions to the prediction portion of this because we may know too many things just from the rumors and the stuff that we've poked around at finding out. But Sony's in, Xbox is on Sunday. Obviously, the Game Fest is on Friday. I'm going to that, which should be kind of fun in person, to be honest. This one, the stuff that I've heard. Like, I don't know exactly the details. I know a few light details, but the folks that I've talked to say that Keighley's being extra tight-lipped this year because there are at least a couple major announcements, like good old mind-blowing stuff. I've kind of told you guys maybe in our Discord, our staff section of the Discord, a couple of things that I'm under NDA, which I don't know if it'll be there. But stuff that's potentially going to be announced this summer. Again, they're not like full details to me, so I don't know. It's like unannounced, nameless, but I'm guessing these could be a little bit bigger. So I'm wondering if they're going to be announced there. But I'd heard just from behind the scenes that there's a lot of there's at least a couple real big ones that are going to be announced.
I hope that the one thing that you told me that you have hands-on with makes an appearance on one of these, because it's just kind of one of those goofy ones where it's just like I don't know what people's response to it would be in 2025.
Right. Yeah, I hope it's real, and I hope it's hope it's real, and I hope it's making an appearance.
Yeah,
the new trails. No, just kidding.
Trails in the Sky.
That's rumored, right? Like an actual new Trails game. Like that's one of the rumors that I was reading today.
It's never a rumor. There's always a new Trails game.
Like Zach said, they're always working on it. So I wouldn't.
If it's not Trails, it's East. Like that.
If it's a new year, there's going to be a new one.
Yeah. That is very much correct. Very much correct. So, let's see here. So, that's taking place. We'll get into some of the quick predictions. One thing that's potentially happening that could be announced on Monday of all days is Apple is having their Worldwide Developer Conference kickoff thing. And there are a bunch of claims right now. Mark Gurman mentioned that Apple's going to have a dedicated gaming app, like they're for third, fourth, fifth time's the charm, guys. We really mean it this time. Just release the Pippin. Just release that Pippin again. But supposedly they're making an actual run where the Apple TV will actually be a gaming. There'll be a game app, like a full-on gaming app on the Apple TV. That's actually a bigger thing, I think, than just downloading individual games. I think making an actual game thing could be kind of cool, but I don't want to get another subscription. I mean, people like Apple Arcade, but I don't play mobile in that way. So I don't know.
The idea is cool, but you need games first. So like
that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Like and to be fair, like Apple gets like some cool shit once in a while, but like. So what? Like, listen. I can't think of a single person in our circle who would be thrilled about the Apple TV gaming stuff. Like, just be super stoked about outside of just sort of the novelty of it. And my parents barely know how to find like HBO on this thing.
Yeah,
they're going to be able to find Tetris. I don't know.
Right.
So they need to make it like.
Then would you use your phone remote?
To
do it or what? Because I mean, you realistically can hook up a Bluetooth controller to the Apple TV. Like I've done that before on the one that I have, but
it's just one of those things where it's like Apple. I could see Apple being pissed that they have to we have to let you use your Microsoft controller on our gaming platform, and then like them coming up with the most miserably designed controller, like. You have to charge it on. You have to charge the controller. It's wireless charging. You have to set it on top of the Apple TV for it to charge, though. So you can't use it while it's charging.
Oh, geez, yeah. Oh man, give me an Apple TV where you just set the controller on top and it wirelessly charges everything. That could be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, but then you can't use it while it's charging, like I was joking about.
You can't. Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point.
It'd be like it's like the mouse that you had to plug it in.
You just have to buy a second one, dude. Just buy a second one. Yeah. I don't know. Like you said.
And they'll also put the buttons in like an even more screwed up order. It'll be like BAXY as opposed to ABXY or ABY.
Yeah. There'll be a Q button in there for quit. But I mean, hey, Apple's going through some weird times right now, so who knows what's going to happen. I know one thing that is going to happen, and that we have another showcase later this week that's going to show the 007 game, First Light, that has formally been titled. And that's all we know. And it looks like, who's that, Clive Owen in there?
Yeah, it stars Clive Owen, apparently.
That's really Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
This is
Chris Pratt.
I am so way too skinny to be Chris Pratt. That's
yeah.
I'm excited to see what this is. I still play Hitman, World of Assassination nonstop. It's one of the games that I am picking up with my Switch too.
Oh, are you? Is that releasing the same day?
Yeah, that's a launch day game.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get Mario and Luigi overalls in it.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I'm excited. I want to know like. First Light's a cool. It's not a very Bondy name, but I'm okay with it. I just want to see who they've pegged to be James Bond in this. Like, it's not going to be, Nolan North or anybody.
I wonder if this is sort of the announcement of the new Bond, like the new Bond actor.
I think this will just be its own thing. I think Amazon's going to have that on lock for their own thing. I can't imagine it'd be like, because Amazon doesn't, outside of just being the like co-right owners of this thing now, like they don't really have much to do with this game. So, and I'm sure they haven't nailed that one down yet.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, exactly. But that will be Chris Pratt.
Yeah. It looks like they're kind of based on the silhouette going a little more book themed, maybe. So the movie themed, which would be cool. But like, I can't wait to see what this, because if this game's just like Hitman, but with like more espionage, like I'd be like,
right.
Like
It'd be
it's
really cool.
more stealing stuff and taking stuff and finding stuff and being stealthy and blending in, and like heavier focus, like cut out some of the silliness, but you got to keep the silliness, because that's what makes these IOI games their soul. But
it'd be cool if, instead of it being like in Hitman where you have like, you go into a mission and it's just like a level and
your
you
loadout,
kill a guy, right?
Yeah,
it could be, I'm seeing it more as like a more structured kind of level, and more like a, not straightforward, but like really tight story pushing you through, instead of it being like levels and stuff. Or if they were cool, they could do like a Metal Gear Solid thing where you're in one building and you're kind of going out.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. I think it being more, because like GoldenEye was cool with its objectives and its single player thing. Like they did a really good job at figuring out how to make a James Bond game with like the objectives, and the objectives being more and more difficult the harder the difficulty is. Like you actually have to do more the harder the difficulty is and stuff. That was really cool stuff with GoldenEye. Like I think it kind of gets overlooked because GoldenEye doesn't really play very well anymore, and most people just played the multiplayer. But like the way they structured that single player campaign was pretty smart, because it didn't really want to try to be a simple like corridor running and gunning kind of thing for a first person shooter, and tried to make a James Bond game, because before that James Bond games really were just side scrolling action or top down shooting games. So
cool. Well, it's coming to Xbox Series X and S, PC, Switch 2, and PS5. Speaking of PS5, something was shown off today running on a PS5. Or was it? The Witcher 4 had their big Unreal Engine 5.6 for Unreal Fest, whatever it's called, their big tech demo, and they said, this game is running on a PS5. And then we found out not really. But not really.
This file is running on a PS5.
this file is running on a PS5.
So in the Discord, I kind of alluded to, I kind of saw through the matrix of this game. If you look at this section specifically, like it's clearly just like one area, and then everything around it is clearly just like a backdrop. It's not being processed, right?
Yeah.
Like there's some foliage on the side to give it kind of like texture and like depth, but there's nothing happening outside of this little spot.
Sure.
So this little like chunk they show is like totally, I would think this is on the PS5. But when they transfer over to like moving the camera, it's like, okay, this is clearly a video. And then the one thing,
those mountains are so clearly just a skybox.
It's just like, flat,
they're flat, dude. Like, this isn't real.
There's no perspective to them. They just the camera turns, and there's like the exact they remain the same shape.
Like, look at it, it's the same perspective. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, like that's what I was like noticing. I was like, this is just like, it's like that new set people use in like movies. Where like you can just tell they're using that like
the Unreal thing that they started in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's
what I was gonna say. Yeah.
And then so they transfer into this, which is like obviously like this can happen, and they show the nanite tech, which is cool, whatever. But then they further go into it and they show a cutscene, and then they move from the cutscene to like the NPCs in the background, like dealing fish and talking and stuff. That's like, clearly to me, it's the cutscene. It's like a rendered cutscene that they moved the camera from. So it's like, yeah, of course the NPCs in the background of this cutscene that you'll see will be behaving like this, where it looks real. They're not going to always be like this because it's being rendered for the Siri cutscene that's happening behind the camera. So, because it's clearly in the view of where the camera was with Siri, and then they cut away to go over here. I'm just like, you guys need
individual branches are moving, guys.
like, okay, so what Zero just said, I think it looks impressive, right?
Hmm.
Like tech is just always gonna get better and better. It's always gonna look cool,
Yeah,
right? But like, I just kind of hate this like blatant kind of like this is for the stockholders to
yeah.
be like, look at what we did. It's just I
I
hate this blatant kind of lying. It's like old school E3 kind of approach.
I
The
made
old,
Um,
the old
I made the
Madden
point.
trailers.
Yeah, I made the point on Blue Sky earlier, but I think I was chatting about it a little bit in the Discord. Like this is the gamer stuff. Gamers want
Yeah.
realism. How real can you make the individual branches move and the individual pine needles and the dewdrops on those pine needles causing those? That's what we want to know. I'm like, cool. And then, I mean, I love what I see. I mean, this is gorgeous. It's stunning. I want to play this. At the same time, I'm like, yeah, but like that new Ninja Gaiden game looks really good too. That's 2D, hand draw. There's like
yeah,
Tears of the Kingdom looks great because it's stylistic. I don't like modern gaming right now. These AAA level, these quadruple A level games are all like, let's see how realistic we can make everything. And I'm like, yeah, but 2D flat shapes can look great too using your technology if the art is right. And we noted there's a reason why we loved like I wouldn't want 1000 times resist to be realistic. Like that would age the game. You look at like any game that's realistic, it does not age well. Like over the years, the original, I mean, even Witcher 3, you're like, it looks okay right now, right?
like it still looks
So
good, but it's
it
like
still looks good, but yeah, but
yeah,
back, Crisis was it looks great. Now you're looking at Crisis, you're like, yeah, Call of Duty looks a lot better. But yeah, it's just this. I get it, and I again, it looks gorgeous, it's stunning.
I forgot that they brought the guy in the corner
Yeah,
box.
to say,
dude,
look, we're actually playing.
I don't think he
Yeah,
actually is because
I-
like
yeah,
there's
This is the oldest E3 trick in the book.
yeah, it really
Like,
is. It really is.
like when Final Fantasy 16 was being shown off, there's a clip of them like showing off the game, and then like one of the people on the team takes a controller from whoever was playing and jiggles the stick, so you
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
Clive start like shaking around, and he's like, "This is real."
yeah,
That's a moment that you kind of like. I feel like you either need to be real
yeah.
and show stuff like that,
yeah.
because when something's way too clean, that's when I'm just like,
That's when you check out. Yep.
yeah, because like I mean like
I hate
I
when
like
games force the camera to do what the camera just did there.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just
yeah,
like
the
something
forced
in
perspective.
forced perspective, like just towards
and then
something
this,
as
like
pull you
whoa.
away. Yeah. Pull you
Well,
away from what you're doing.
Like
please
it's
stop.
cool. Like all this stuff is cool. Like I love video games. I love seeing artistry in motion, seeing
Yeah.
what a
Yeah,
team of
yeah.
people can do. But
I mean,
like
it's fantastic.
it's awesome, but it's also like this isn't a selling point, right?
Yeah.
Like this is like all games are gonna look like this.
That's exactly it.
Cool.
They're all going to look
Like-
like this. Whereas what actually sets us apart is the gameplay, and we don't know any of that. Like
that was what
mean,
that's what The Witcher 3 was all about. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like it was the core gameplay loop of that game was
mhm.
rewarding. It felt good to play. It did stuff.
I mean,
like
listen, CD Projekt Red is one of my favorite developers because, like you said, Zach, I mean, there's a team that puts tons of work into these, and you can respect like they look at all these details. Like they have great writers, and narrative folk. They have great, scene people. They have the whole package. They do put out a stinker every once in a while. Like there's card games and there's those turn-based things that aren't always the best. But when they go all in on these things, even with like Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk came out and all kinds of issues, and we noted like it was a real downer. And now it's like that's my Switch 2 launch game. Like that's the game I actually wanted on the Switch 2 more than Mario Kart. I mean, Mario Kart World, yeah, but that's the other game I bought. So. Yeah,
here's those fishes in the background. They're clearly being rendered during the cutscene that they just cut away from.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So it looks great. And I'm, kudos to them. This looks sick, but I want to see, from our standpoint, I want to see what's actually happening. Like somebody actually playing it.
The other thing that's also just like, if you're a person who plays video games and you've played like this year's releases of kind of big hitters like Kingdom Come 2, Like
Mhm.
this is already in that game.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So like, why am I going to be impressed? You know,
Yep.
like this is just for the shareholders. Like this isn't for us, which is what's kind of like sucks for CD Projekt because they're so big now that they have
Yeah.
to do this.
They have to develop so far in advance on this stuff that when another developer comes out with, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and they're like, crap, they just put out something that we've been working on for 4.5 years. But I mean, again, kudos. I'm looking forward to this game. I'm actually going to finally dive back into Witcher 3. I own it on a bunch of different platforms, but I like having everything on one, so I'll probably play it on the Switch too, and hopefully they do some little update. But yeah,
I will just to give them more kudos because I sound like I'm being negative.
Oh no, we're in love with them. It's the state of the things. Yeah.
CD Projekt, they are really amazing with like consumers. I think they really respect.
Yeah, they do.
You.
Yeah.
So like Cyberpunk has cross save, so like you can play your save on any console.
Yeah, I'm taking my PS5 save and playing it on my Switch too, which is going to be great.
So,
yeah, no, they are. You're right. You're right. Totally. I mean, again, we're not necessarily bashing them. We're totally not. We're just kind of saying like, hey, there's going to be a point where all of this visually it looks so good that it just looks the same. It's like, okay, it's either a horse or a tank or a guy with a machine gun or whatever, I mean, Doom, Dark Ages. I don't want Doom the Dark Ages to be any more realistic. I still want like crazy proportions. I want humans to be all out of whack because that to me that's that shows some awesome stuff. Anyways, that was it for that. The last little bit of news, good numbers. I'm calling this section good numbers because we've had a lot of good like sales information that just popped up. Elden Ring sales and shipments 2 million in one day. I mean, you look at like crazy. The Steam. That's awesome for Steam, their numbers. This is a great one. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. They're like, no joke, 33 sales in 3.3 million sales in 33 days. And they're like, we don't even know how that worked out. It's like, well, you have a great game and it's just going to keep going up.
Elden Ring right now has 219,000 people playing it.
That's awesome. Wow.
And the Steam review has gone up to mostly positive.
That's good, and because they finally fixed they fixed some of the solo stuff, and they're working on more solo things. They're putting duos in there, a few other things.
Something they magically forgot about, whatever.
Yeah. Oops.
I don't know. I was just on Game Facts a few minutes ago, and this guy on there says it's a 4 out of 10. So I don't know.
Okay, and then this number I thought was awesome. Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time, 800,000, the biggest in their freaking in the series. Which again, put it on a bunch of different platforms. It'll do that.
It's fun to watch these like Japanese games that like us in like the circle like know and are aware of, but to see them branch out is always really like
it's what happens when you put games on PC
on PC. Yeah,
it's like it's kind of
like. For America, it's just, especially for your little weird, quaint, niche Japanese game. You put that bad boy on PC, you've got a new hit on your hands, my friends.
I wonder how much Ni no Kuni has sold, because I'm just curious.
Do you have the number of what was the Roblox number, Zach? Do you remember? It was 112 million concurrent players in one day.
No, it was
one game.
The one game. I think it was 200. Let me scroll up. Where is it? Scroll in. Okay, Roblox grows. Okay, Roblox game Grow a Garden just shattered player count records with 11 million players at once.
Wow.
So, for example, PUBG is Steam's most played game ever with a concurrent player of 3.2 million. So.
It's always funny to see people kind of rag on Roblox. It deserves some ragging. I mean, but at the same time, like for other reasons, not the fact that it is the biggest video game of all time.
The scary stat for Roblox is if you meet 2 kids a day, one of them has played Roblox in that time frame.
Yeah,
it's like half of children under the age of 13 play it. So everywhere you go, there are players around you, which is
Yep.
nuts. Like it's
Yep.
like you can go into any store, and for a fact, there are at least half of them who
Yeah.
have played
Like
Roblox.
for sure. Let us volley off of this one because I did want to mention that's it for the news. But I did want to bring up one awesome thing, and that is, in case y'all haven't checked yet, we have a brand new section on SideQuesting that we're calling the Indie Zone. And it's awesome because, we've been big fans of indies. That's why we go to the PAX showcase, the PAX shows. We watch all the expos. We have a lot of indies that are in our in the Discord that we talk to on the regular. Zach has done some indie work. I've done a little bit of indie work in the past. So there's the Indie Zone. So we love indies, and the interesting thing right now is that we talked a little bit earlier, a second ago, about like the graphic peaks of Unreal Engine with Witcher 4. Well, indies are doing some incredibly fun things, and really it's the indies that are propping up the video game industry. I mean, we've talked about it. They're the ones that are they may not have the billions of dollars in sales, as a Call of Duty, but they're getting like the dozens of dollars and in some cases more than that of sales, but they're fantastic games. And so
just go look at the top 2 highest rated games of the year and indie games.
And for me, indies do the same thing what horror movies do for Hollywood, where it's like that's where the ideas are. That's where the people are putting their passion into, good or bad. There's the unique original stuff is coming out of that, and it is going to motivate the AAA and AA, the big quadruple A games.
I mean, look at
see that stuff work its way in there, but
to the point where like Claire Obscure is an indie team, right?
Yeah,
that's an indie group. I mentioned the Ninja Gaiden, but there's also Shinobi. Those are done by like indie teams who were known for doing these small games, and all of a sudden these big companies came. I mean, even Nintendo hired who was the Crypt of the Necromancer, whatever, to Necrodancer, whatever, to make a Switch, a Zelda game. So the indies have great ideas. So we want to continue celebrating indies, excuse me, and focus more on indies. So when you go to sidequesting.com, click up here on Indie Zone, and you'll see all of our cool content. I even backtracked a little bit. Check it out. The Lady Dracula, which we found out about last week when the developer hopped into the Discord and was like, hey, check out our game. And we said, yeah, let's check out this game. And by the way, I came up with fantastic. But indies, we want to like see these. We want to share these. We want to take a look at them. We want to talk to the developers. Stefan did a really good job of doing a quick little interview just to get some backstory on this game that maybe a lot of people didn't know about. And we have another developer hopped into our Discord today because they saw this and said, we'd love to show you our project. We said, sure, but hop in there. We're going to spotlight smaller websites once or twice a week if we can, or as often as we can. We did Virtual Moose, who's Michael in our Discord as well, puts on this awesome website where he just discusses cool little indie topics, games, adventure games he comes across. We're going to have mixtapes. Try to do these as often as we can as well. Zach puts this
when
together.
When we say we mean Zach.
Zach is really good for this. Yeah, for sure. Zach is like the musical maestro. But yeah, I mean, I've been listening to this, baby. So check it out. Click on Indie Zone. Go through all that stuff. I'll probably have some of these things on the sidebar here as well. Like the mixtapes and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, it's just a way for us to continue celebrating the awesomeness that are indie games. And by the way, I put together a list of the indie game showcases that are happening this week. The nice thing about Indie Zone is I want to make the graphical style super easy for me to quickly do from my phone while I'm in a meeting at work. So I didn't let's just do text. Very simple, one color. And all you guys on staff can also do this as well. But there's a lot of these indie showcases. Best Indie Games was earlier today. Mix was earlier today, and you guys can watch them. Friday, we got Day of the Devs. We got Digital, Devolver Digital has. So there's just a bunch of them, So definitely hop on the site, take a look at all these cool events coming up, and Indie zone.
Speaking of indies, there is a sequel to an indie game coming out tomorrow. A very successful indie game, and does anybody know what it is?
No.
It's kind of crazy.
Silk Song.
The sequel to Undertale comes
out.
out.
That's right. Yeah.
So
they announced the Switch 2 announced trailer.
And now it's on everything, right? Yeah, and it's free.
It's free.
If you have the other two, it's free. Yes.
So
good. Get it.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's kind
good
of crazy to think about that comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And a new Five Nights at Freddy's comes out in like 2 weeks.
We have
crazy.
We talked a little bit about it, and we're going to get into the question of the week right now. We talked a little bit about how there's just so many quality games this year. It is terrifying. Like, they're legit. I don't remember a year where things have been this good this early. Like, every month there are like there are like a dozen games every month, indies, even like the big games, AAA, mid-tier stuff that we're just like, this is awesome. This is great. Like, I reviewed TMNT Tactical Takedown, and it's not a perfect game, but it's a 7. And I'm like, you know what? It's a 7 out of 10. We love 7s, and it's very, and it's enjoyable. So look at all the reviews for stuff that JJ put up the review for Bionic Bay. That's an indie game that, like you said, JJ, nobody knew about it. So yeah, you're right. I mean, there's just so many games coming out right now. It's terrifying. Faux show. Question of the week.
Indie game coming out soon. Death Stranding 2.
Yeah. Little studio.
I mean, he's not wrong. It is. I mean, it's like
an independent studio.
It's just like Star Wars.
The
prequel trilogy was an independent film. So, there's Anyways, what are we doing?
Okay, couple things. We have a couple questions of the week. The one last week was video game showcases. I asked people for any predictions. JJ, you said very little of note will happen. Zero said something Halo something. JJ, you did say Halo gonna switch to a new console, and Zach was like, yeah, Halo on PS5, which is perfect, and I believe you. You also
assume the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, we have like Persona 6 teasers, Half-Life 3
I'm
announcements.
telling you, Summer Games Fest, Half-Life 3. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, that would be big shock. Not a shocker, but yeah,
that would make sense because Jeff is the only journalist to ever get access to Valve
True.
in the history of Valve. So they'd be like, yeah, sure, Jeff, here, like whatever. That would make sense. Anyway.
Yep. No, that's great point. JJ, you also mentioned The Last Ronin would be awesome to see.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtles game, yeah.
Speaking of turtles are hot. Tactical Takedown, Last Ronin. Jake said
the new Sonic game.
There's that new Sonic. Yeah, we could see a new Sonic game besides the racing one. Toxic Commando. Jake said Toxic Commando gameplay reveal and Escape from New York video game adaptation. That would be pretty dope. Escape from New York, actually. Zero would love a new Myst game, which is great. Let's see. And then there were a couple more here as well.
I will say one thing that I want to see. I want them to just announce the next Gold Label series game.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, they haven't. They usually do the limited run G3 or whatever, right? Limited run Game 3, but they haven't announced anything for that. Stefan says he'd love to see, or maybe see Xenosaga Trilogy remastered. That would be kind of dope. I mean, there's a lot of like lovers of that series, especially since they, the Xenoblade games are the spiritual successors, and there's very light ties that way. But seeing something like that remastered, maybe Switch 2 would be good. And so let's move on. Next is JJ. You said this was a good amount of questions here. So Jake asked, "What's a hot take you have about AAA companies and the way they've handled sequels or lack thereof? What frustrates you or delights you?" He says, a game I actually really like because it does mostly everything right, but the feeling of indecisiveness in Dishonored 2 and the lack of risk I see in Arcane's choice to make it A pick between Corvo and his daughter as a player frustrates me because of how little impact it has in the world and in-game choices. Another title, he says, Evil Within 2, just how much busy work there is packed into that game. Little reward. Last of Us 2 is bad, that he says.
I will, so to piggyback off of what Jake said, Last of Us 2 is bad, but their decision to kill Joel for a sequel to a video game is something that is really cool, right?
Yeah, that's great.
I think a lot of video games are scared to do something like that, to actually do narrative, like huge swings,
lasting effects to the franchise.
They want to keep the IP strong, and they want to be able to sell sequels, right? So something like that for a video game is awesome. Like, that's cool that they were able to make a big swing and they miss the rest of it, but that's cool. I guess like my big hot take might not even be a hot take, but AAA games, they have these, they like, maybe not AAA, but when like a studio has a big hit, it doesn't matter like what level it is, but they always try to make everything bigger and better in the second one, like adding new stuff to the formula instead of refining the formula they already had and kind of building on what they already made, instead of like putting in a bunch of like systems on top of it. Maybe like God of War Ragnarok is probably a good example, I think, to me, because the first game is really just like, it's plain and simple, the story hits and it's done, right? And the second one, they're like, okay, here's some loot, here's some like you have to level up weapons and get skills. Like, you don't need that. You could just expand what was already working. I don't know. And also just kind of having a big hit and not making a sequel like in a couple of years is kind of crazy. The Okami situation, right? Like that game was huge, but also that studio went bankrupt and then they made a new studio, then they did a bunch of other stuff. So there's situations where it makes sense, right? But if you think about it, there should have been an Okami 2 sequel a lot sooner. Like, there's no reason for Platinum not to have made an Okami 2 sequel.
Right.
Yeah, that's on Platinum, like, at a certain point. Like,
so it's like there's some like just weird things, but no, I think the big thing for me is taking a story and not wanting to do something exciting with it because you have to keep your brand, right? And that's why I'm excited for Death Stranding 2, because Kojima's built this Death Stranding brand, and I know he's not afraid to burn it in the process. So I'm excited to see what he does with the sequel. And if MGS2 is any like way to look at it, it's like he's gonna do something a little wacky. So I don't know.
The problem that we have with the sort of concept of the sequel in video games now is sort of just the sort of problem we have with video games as a whole right now. Dally and I grew up in an age where sequels were rampant. That was the biggest thing. Like, it was a running joke for the longest time that there were just, and guess what? Another Mega Man game is coming out. Wow. You remember the Army Men games? Like, they just kept releasing those until people didn't care anymore. And because video game budgets weren't anything back then, it's a couple $1 million here and there, and it's like Nintendo got, the big boys got to play with their toys and took 4 or 5 years to get the sequel out, if on a bad day. But video game budgets sort of gotten crazy out of hand, so you have to either you can't strike while the iron is hot anymore, because because you have to make your sequel, and that sequel is going to take years and years and years and years and years at this point to get it out there. And so, but by the time you get your game 2, it's, do you go iterative or you do new? Well, you want to do iterative because everything old is new again, and it's been 6 years, 7 years since the last game. So just sort of playing. Yeah, so it's like, Spider-Man 2 is a perfect example of like the core game is exactly the same, but they took so much time working on it, making it, and stuff, that they just made an iterative game with a worse story, and it didn't really pan out in the end. I mean, Doom is great because you have 3 games in this new Doom series, and despite them being first-person shooters, all three of them are different. Like Doom 1 is, rip and tear. It is a traditional first-person shooter, corridors, monsters, stuff like that. Eternal is much more of a. I would just call it a first-person platformer because really that's what that game ended up being.
It's
like
a first-person chess game.
It's there's like an adventure. There's an adventure element in it. There's stuff, and 3 is Dark Ages is a weird. What they've done gameplay wise, I love it, but like it's weird what they've done with it because like there's kind of nothing like it in that space in a weird way that's hard to explain like in the purposes of this, but and they were able to sort of pump those out. It's like 2016 is when it started. A few years later you got Eternal, a few years later you got Dark Ages. They were able to pump them out in short order, so they
5 years
over
between each.
And as we said in the Discord, like it's how long's it been since Skyrim, and we're not even close. We're not even kissing.
That note really from Chaotic Vest says, they talk about managing IP rights during studio publisher mergers, acquisitions. A lot of games that deserve sequels will never get them because the IP is in creative rights purgatory. And then they follow up with, maybe one hot take is that Ubisoft has done better than most people give them credit for in regards to Assassin's Creed games. They've released, Revelations came out as the same month as Skyrim. There have been 10 mainline AC games released since then, and 0 mainline Elder Scrolls games. And listen, even at like 50, even if 50% of those Assassin's Creed games are
about how many of them were good. So.
It's about how many of them are good. That's awesome. That's actually a great number, and yet 0. You had the Oblivion remake. Yeah.
Even at their worst, the Assassin's Creed games have all been kind of like
fun.
They're fun. They function. Fun. They work.
Yep.
They do what they're supposed to do. You get a cool setting in each one of them, whether it comes together in the end or not is sort of moot.
So,
I mean,
JJ,
they made 3 Watch Dogs games, which I mean at the same time is like Assassin's Creed as well.
So JJ, you talking about Doom and then me saying Skyward Sword kind of dawned on me this other point is the only reason why this new Doom series is the way it is because they've kept the same team through all of them, right? So like without Hugo at the helm, like this series wouldn't be coming out as fast as it is and also changing as much as it is like each time. Like it takes a very confident leader and idea guy and designer to kind of push forward, right? Which is like kind of why indie games are so solid and they hit is because they have one dude or a team of really passionate people who are pushing towards one core idea. And then we have all these other video games or these like corporatized like examples of what a game studio is.
Made by committee.
And you have like 20 people saying this is what you should do instead of having like one voice being like this is what we're going to do and this is how we're going to execute it. And just to harken back to Doom, I like Dark Ages is a very mature game just on like a design level, like the way it's designed and everything. We wouldn't have reached that point if Hugo wasn't on this series for a decade, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really rare to see that, and we.
That's why Kojima's stuff is. That's why Metal Gear goes down as an all-timer. Is Kojima's vision, whether as unhinged as it may be at times, is unified. It is. He's the heart and soul of it. That's why anything that's comes out doesn't have his fingers in it, that is based on his ideas, never really fully realizes itself.
Yeah.
It's crazy to take Doom the direction that they have, right? I'm just thinking about Doom now at this point, but like 2016 to Eternal, like very clear acceleration, right? The obvious to the novice is like, oh, we should go faster next and like add more. But they took it back and they slowed it down and they just refined everything. Yeah. And that takes a very specific kind of genius to do. And it's only because Hugo has been able to do it for like a decade, right?
To do Doom Eternal, which is a very fast, jumpy. Right. You've got very little weight to the Doom Slayer. To go to the Dark Ages, where dude can barely jump like a few inches off the ground. There is no platforming. He's got so much weight to him that even running feels like a chore sometimes, but he's still moving at an incredible pace. It's just he's heavy now. It's a weird direction to take, but it makes sense.
And you have to move in to melee people in a first-person shooter. But yeah, it takes like, I don't know. I guess my hot take is keep the teams making games and keep them together so they can iterate and change over time.
Games have games want to be movies, but they don't really have the passion to be what movies are. What makes movies is the teams behind them, obviously, but it's the directors and the writers that are like the main driving forces in a lot of movies. And games only really have a couple of directors that are willing to be directors, are willing to.
There's three of them.
Yeah,
there's Yoko Taro, Kojima, and maybe Hugo Martin would be the other one. I can't think of any.
When I'm talking about games, I'm talking about big studio games. I mean, I would say Miyamoto for the most part. Like nobody ever tells him no, but he's not really doing that anymore. He's kind of off. He's done with that stuff now. He's more of a consultant. But in his heyday, nobody would tell him no, good or bad. You're going to get Legend of Zelda. Or you're going to get Wii Music. You know, but it was his vision, and you followed his vision, and that goes a long way when it comes to making. That's why MCU-ification is a thing, because all of the movies have different visions from different directors, even though they have Feige on one end. Especially nowadays, they're trying to reel it back in, but there was a big problem where you're trying to put a circle through a square hole, and it just wasn't working anymore. So, games do that. I do just want to say before we move on that you always ignore these side questing questions. And Stefan did ask what 3DS or DS games you would like to see on the Switch in the future.
Yeah, let's go out. Yeah, I was going to ask that. So
Fantasy Life.
That's actually a good one. It should.
That's a good one. Yeah. Here are the. Here are a few questions. That's a good one. So what DS 3DS games do you want to see? So you said, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off. Yeah.
No, I said I was about to answer in the thread, but I didn't because I know what the answer to that is immediately. What DS game I want to see have second life?
Rhythm Heaven.
Yes, but Hotel Dusk.
Oh yeah! Oh wow! Okay.
And the Last Window that never came out in the U.S. That came out in Europe, so there is an English. There is an English translation of Last Window, which is the sequel to Hotel Dusk.
Okay.
And I think it would be a good time to revisit those because those are incredible, charming, stylistic point-and-click adventure games. They'd have to figure out some. They had some Switch. They have some DS specific things, but that's that.
What's yours, Zach?
He said Fantasy Life.
Oh, that's right. Well, it's out.
I mean, Fantasy Life was just me kind of joking.
But that would be good.
I mean, because it technically is coming. It's there. It's Fantasy Life 2.
Sure.
Anyways.
Commodore.
Think of anything.
There you go.
Let me mull it over.
Okay, yeah, I'll hop in with mine. I mean, I know I want Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus would be that'd be a great one
with good controls.
With good controls, yeah. I mean, which I think would hopefully that would happen. But Kid Icarus is a great one, and I would also say Link Between Worlds. Those are both the 3DS games. I think both of those are just fantastic DS game or 3DS games.
I mean, obviously the Zelda, the Spirit Tracks, and I forget what the.
Yeah, we don't want either of those because they're poop.
Yeah.
But and then one that's wild out there that is an kind of a weird offshoot. It's a Tecmo Koei game. That's Pokemon Conquest. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Such crazy. A weird game. But I think
Nobunaga's ambition / Pokemon.
Right.
But that game goes for a penny now. That game is
does it really? Okay.
It is an expensive.
I landed on my pick.
Okay.
Radiant Historia.
Yeah, dude.
Lost
nice.
to time. That game is lost to time.
Yep.
There's a lot of DS games that are
very ironic. It's lost to time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very ironic. One that nobody talks about, Chinatown Wars. Yeah, get Chinatown Wars back. I'm surprised it hasn't been on a modern console. But yeah, those are...
and it would be nice to get a modern have a modern console be able to play the original The World Ends With You.
Yes, yes, exactly. And then I think there was one more question in there. When are we going to see more first party release dates? Metroid specifically. We're going to find out, I think, in the next 2 weeks, because Nintendo hasn't announced a direct, but I think we'll get one probably within a couple weeks, and we'll get that Metroid release date.
I don't think you're gonna. I don't expect very many first party release dates after Metroid Prime 4 for at least a couple of months.
I actually think Kirby is going to be pushed into 2026. To be honest, that feels like a good January
Air Ride
game. Air Riders. We don't know anything about that. We haven't even seen the freaking.
It's Sakurai. He's got all the time in the world.
He could do all the time. So
the longer he works on it, the longer he doesn't have to work on the next Smash.
Definitely. All right, we're gonna move on to games that we've been playing. JJ, I want you to go first. It's a terrifying game.
It
JJ,
is. I don't like it. I don't like
what have you been playing?
Playing Tunnels VR. Single player. I did not touch the multiplayer because the code we got, the multiplayer is free, but the review code we got for playing it on the Quest 3 is an expansion, a paid expansion that they put out that is a single player horror experience where you are trapped in a gold mine and there are scary things hunting you down as you're literally crawling through tunnels.
Wow.
It is a nightmare. It is claustrophobic as hell. I do not like it, but like in a good way. I'm not saying that. It's just because like
this looks freaking terrifying. I have claustrophobia. I have like tight space claustrophobia.
And like and you have I hate it.
This reminds me of that meme where it's like cave diver memes. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Where it's like
the one with the guy face down into the like stuck. It's exactly what this game feels like. You've been called in to decommission an old gold mine, so you're setting up explosives, and then something happens, obviously, and you go deep into this under this mine. Cool. You've got a radio, so dude's talking to you from time to time. You've got a flashlight, and you've just got to try to get your way out of there. And a lot of it is literally like, there are moments where you're like walking around and doing stuff. There's some like zip lining and hand over hand stuff and wall climbing and stuff that you're doing. But like when you have to go into a tunnel, you have to like crouch, and then you actually have to like use the controls to like pull yourself. So you're like,
I was going to ask, there's an actual crawling. Like motion movement. Oh, cool.
Yeah, it sucks, man. And I mean, again, I mean that in a positive way. This does exactly what it's supposed to do. I can't imagine the multiplayer being as scary because it's like a 4-player thing where you're all working together to get out of this spooky thing. This single player thing where you're legit alone, closed in tunnels.
Dude.
If I had to make my biggest complaint is that the controls aren't great for the most part. Like there are times where like it's a motion. Like if you need to run, you've got to swing your arms to run. Yeah. Which kind of like, and then like to like make a long jump, you got to be doing this motion and then pushing the jump button, and it doesn't feel good a lot of the time. But the actual like scary part of the game is so expertly done, and it's upsetting. Like if you have claustrophobia, there's probably no way. Like I'm usually not particularly claustrophobic, but like if there's no light coming in through the headset, you're doing this, and you've got a flashlight that relies on batteries and stuff, and you don't get a lot of batteries either. So there's a lot of times where you're just getting the glow of some crystals that have a natural luminescence to them.
This seems like the kind of game that could help you solve your claustrophobia or make it worse.
Make it worse. You're going to be, you'll never want to go spelunking. like ever. Like it's just like because like early on in the game, once you start crawling through the tunnels, they do this thing where you're like pulling yourself and you're still kind of getting yourself acclimated to the controls. So you're doing the pulling part, and then just like a creature runs through the tunnels in front of you, and it's just like, oh, what?
VR is known for these like gimmicks, right?
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
here's what we can do with VR. And
Yeah.
this is the first time I've seen this particular gimmick. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
seems like
it's a clever way. It's the only way a claustrophobia horror game. It's the only way you can make the Descent game, basically. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Descent, but like, you know, this is about the closest you're ever going to get to something like that, because you can't replicate this on just a traditional system. You're going to be surrounded. If I'm sitting in my PlayStation in this room, it kind of defeats the purpose of like being like isolated. So, yeah, no, this is really smart. This is a really smart idea. It suffers a lot of the same sort of pratfalls you fall into with a lot of the VR stuff. It looks like a Quest game first and foremost.
Sure.
Like the Quest has an aesthetic, and for better or worse, like this lines up with that aesthetic. You know, controls are kind of iffy on most Quest games, and a lot of Quest games are just kind of, everything's kind of vaguely the same, have the same control feeling. It's got that you know, teleport to turn kind of thing, but it does have smooth walking. At least it's not teleporting walking, but it is to sort of limit your sort of seasickness that you get with some VR stuff. I don't get any of that, so VR stuff doesn't affect me that way. So I can turn off or turn on smooth and stuff like that. But like this one, I always look for the VR games that are different, that have something, because so many of them are all exactly the same. It's a rhythm game or it's a shooter game, and that's kind of all you get. So you know, this one does something different. This one's definitely worth your time. It's one of those games where if you have a Quest, it benefits you to probably get this one, because it's unique. If you have the good Quest, not our Quest. I'm fucking with you.
Our Quest is the best. Cool.
Best Quest, yeah. Nah, yeah, big fan. Love it.
Okay.
Can't talk about anything else. So.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking of Quest, I want to move on to Quest, because you have been playing it's hard to explain where these games come from, but it's they've been around for a while, and now this latest one seems to be doing okay. Zach, what have you been playing?
I've been playing the new Rune Factory game. I'm gonna share my screen. Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead. Share your screen. Saves me from having to share mine.
Show you guys the game.
Yeah. This is Guardians of Azuma, correct?
Guardians of Azuma. Yeah. Let's see. Entire screen. Here we go. That's Elden Ring. Okay. You can look at my Steam library.
Yeah.
I've played.
Show us the hidden games, Zach.
I played 28 hours, almost 20 to 29.
Look at that. In 2 days.
Basically, I mean, over the weekend, yeah.
Wow.
I went a little crazy. Yeah, so this is technically, it's not, so it's this game in like the Rune Factory chronology is happening during Rune Factory 5. So it's like, it's not an official like sequel to Rune Factory 5, but it's kind of this like offshoot. So it makes with what they've done with the core like mechanics and gameplay, it makes sense for it to be kind of an offshoot. So I'm gonna turn the volume down for me so I can hear. So this game, if you don't know this series, it's a farming simulator game, and it also has like action and like there's grinding and there's like relationships. So it has all the stuff you expect from like a farming game. But what makes this one different is it kind of takes the concept of a farming game and multiplies it by 10, right? So it's, instead of it being, so kind of the hook here is you have different villages that have different seasons. So this is the spring village. and it's always spring in the
Mm-hmm.
spring village. And then you have the winter village, you have the summer village, and you have the autumn village. So what this means is certain crops grow better in those areas, which is cool. But you can grow certain crops, so you can grow crops that are for the winter region in the summer region. But if you farm them, you don't get seeds, right? So you want to keep getting your seeds and keep kind of having that. There's a very distinct kind
It's
of
raining.
like like a like kind of uh progression that it just keeps kind of evolving and getting bigger and bigger. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you a farm, right?
That's
So
a good
I
rain
can
effect.
Yeah, it
oh
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can move pretty fast. Because so if you see on the bottom right, I have this fan, and this fan gives you run like a run speed boost. But so you're basically this guy called the Earth Dancer, and you're because of story reasons that I can't talk about, you're kind of this chosen one to help kind of reintroduce these villages that have been cut off from the greater world.
Hmm.
So you get these instruments from the gods that kind of live in each village. So the idea is the gods that live in the village are these deities, and you want to farm and make your place look nice so you can level up the gods and they can have their power back to stop the bad guy, right? So you're kind of inclined to make things look pretty and farm more and kind of increase your production constantly.
Hmm.
So the way it does this by increasing kind of the output of a farming game, because normally you would like walk out of your house, go talk to people, like farm, put like grab stuff and go put it in the shed to sell, and that would kind of be it, right? But imagine having to do that in 4 towns every single day, which seems like a lot, right? But if you see on the right,
Hmm.
there's these things that pop up and there's these villagers. They work for me. So they're these villagers that I've saved that have come to live in my town, and I've assigned them jobs, right? So I can come in here and they all have stats and qualities that will make them good or bad at something. So so these are my farmers. This guy logs, says on the top, logging. This guy's my blacksmith. He has the quality of journeyman smith, so he can smith. So you see how this kind of comes together and kind of expands the idea of a farming simulator, right? So imagine doing this in 4 different places. I got a whole cast of people that I've saved and that I've moved around and allocated accordingly to certain shops. And like each village has different shops, each village has a different layout, each village has different types of people.
Hmm.
So I can move people around. I even have barns with animals that I have that I get stuff from. So there's that kind of like idea of constantly increasing, kind of making it more like kind of like a factory, right? Which is like cool to me because I've played so many farming games that I kind of just understand the general like flow. Like I wake up, I do my plants, talk to my animals, give them food, go talk to the people, go to bed, right? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not like that at all. This is where it kind of gets a
Hmm.
little crazy, right? Because I have the villagers, I have all this stuff, but I can click here to pull out my hoe, and you see on the left, I have all these like stat increases, buildings placed, farming increased, HP are like all these things are being increased by what I've laid around in my village. There's multiple
Hmm.
places in here. Like I'll pull up the map. There's multiple places. This is a place I can lay stuff out. This is a place I can lay stuff out, and so is this.
Are those unlocked from right when you get into the village, or
No, no,
okay?
you have to make progress with your like your village level up in the top, and also through the story as well. You'll unlock more things that you can
Hmm.
allocate, but mostly it's through the village level. So you unlock more places as you level up. So here is where it gets cool. This is the normal view for a farming game, right? You click R3, you zoom out, and you get this. You get this kind of tactical view. And you can do everything that you would do on your
Hmm.
farm here. So like it kind of sucks that it's raining, but I could water all my plants from here. I can plant seeds from here, right? I can move trees around. like I have a lot of power to kind of make this my own. And also I get like, so here are these fields that are empty, right? So the farmers will water and they'll grab produce and put it in the bin. It's up to you to allocate the seeds, right? So you see here, potato bottom until harvest, 5 days, grows well in spring, not suited for, not available. So okay, I'll put these potatoes here, and then I can just plant them here, right? I can do this instead of walking over to it. Or I can exit that, go over here, plant them like this, which is like, it's fine, right? But this is a lot faster. This is a lot cooler. So you can just kind of like teleport to your towns and be like, okay, do this. And then you're like, okay, I need to address the other part of the game, because besides farming, there's also a world outside where you fight things. And where you fight things and you explore, it's also really important. So they're these kind of these like, they're not massive, but they're very open. So I can teleport over here and there's just monsters, and there used to be a lot of areas that were cursed still, because I've been having to revitalize the land, so there's a lot of like areas that are just like dead, and I've brought them back. So you kind of go through these maps and clear them out. And usually there are these little like these like frog statues or like treasure chests and stuff. So the frog statues that you find are hidden around the map, and those will give you your upgrades for weapons and things to craft. So what is really cool to me is the progression in the story and where you're at level wise is in relation to the items and things you find in the game. So it's like, okay, this sword I found is for this level, and the resources I need are in this area. So whenever you go to a new area, you travel around, find the frogs, heal the land, and then you get crafting recipes for the weapons and things that are suited for that level. So it's like, it's a very clear kind of like progression. It's very good at leading you through without it being overwhelming. It's a lot, but it forces you to explore the map. It forces you to gather the resources in the area, and then it forces you to craft and make things, which is I think, a very smart way to do gearing and kind of tiering of levels and systems and stuff, because it's, instead of getting items in the first area that you can't craft until later on, you don't have to worry about that. So you can find everything here, craft it all, then go to the next spot. So it makes it really easy to kind of level up your guys, because on top of everything, you also have a party. So these people are the people in your village that you, on all the places that you can meet and befriend, and eventually they can join you. And all these people, she doesn't have anything. She does. They have equipment and stuff that you have to craft, so they can die in battle. They don't die like forever, but they can be downed in like boss fights and stuff. So you want to get them geared out. You also want to level them up in a relationship sense, so they get more skills to use during a fight. So you can find, this is kind of all the people in the game. I haven't met these people yet. I'm about to. But you can kind of come in here and I'll show you all the stuff that they like and all the dating sim stuff. So it's really, really fun. You find their preferences, whatever. And then you come in here and you see the levels. You see, okay, he gets an attack boost. He gets this skill. You get this recipe. You get this. You get this skill. So the more you engage with the person, the more they will give you in battle. This is my girlfriend. She has magic, so she has all these buffs and all these things because I've leveled her up, because I've engaged with her the most. But it's also just encouraging to do it to other people. And what I actually really like about the game is the writing is like pretty, it's not like amazing, but it's decent. It's funny. It's really just kind of comfy, and the story's not bad. It's engaging enough, and I really like that. Where it's not like I have to be so engaged, but it's like I can just kind of be sitting around watching the story and have fun. But then you talk to the characters, and the characters themselves are so unique, and they're written really well, and it's fun. And also, to kind of highlight a thing I talked about in the Discord, is all the eligible people that you can date look like adults, which is awesome. Which is the norm for most of these games, but everyone looks like an adult, which is cool. And I'll see who's in the village. I'll go talk to someone. But the social system is like really in depth too. It's kind of fun. I'll talk to him. Let's see. Let's hang out. You get these options every day with each person. So you can invite them to go out to eat. You can share a parasol if you want to. You can poke fun. This is my favorite one. Poke fun is my favorite. I need JJ to watch. JJ, are you watching?
I'm watching.
This is my favorite one. So poke fun. Look. Oh man, it didn't do it because he's mad. His level went down.
Oh no!
Way to go. Way to go.
So you can decrease stats with people if you do something that they don't like. Poke fun literally shows you walking up to them in a first-person view, and you poke them on their face.
Amazing! Wow, I love how they just walk right through him.
Yeah. Wait, I can poke fun at him. Or we can take a nap together if you want.
Okay.
Let's see. He didn't like it either.
Wow.
Everyone just hates you.
Yeah.
So we talked. I asked a couple questions about this before, but I've never played a Rune Factory game.
Yep.
But you've been behind the scenes. You've been raving about this one to us. Would this be like the good first one for me to jump into?
It's a tricky question, right? Because as a Rune Factory game, it brings everything. So the mechanics and the systems in it are not reflective of the rest of the series, right? So you know how I was talking about like the frogs, where you get your upgrades, you get your food, you get all these. So you get recipes to make food, which is a big thing in these games, making food because that's how you heal yourself or get stat increases, whatever. To get all that stuff in the main series game, they're from these scrolls. They're like you randomly will unlock a thing. So every day you buy these scrolls and you unlock something. In this, it's encouraged to explore the open world and find these frogs, and you get the stuff, right? So that's very different. The farming is way more. It's like on steroids essentially in this. So it's like it's not really reflective of the original mainline series. But if you've played farming games before and you're a nerd for farming sims and these kind of games, I think it's kind of like perfect because it's really just like it's because I play any type of these games that comes out and I'm like, this is cool, whatever. But this is the first time in a while where I felt like, okay, I actually have to think about this instead of having to just kind of go with the flow, you know? So I don't know. It could be because it's still a fun game, but like I think it's a lot for someone who doesn't who doesn't play these games enough or who doesn't play like resource management games. Like it's a lot, but I also do think that if you wanted to have a game to take slowly and kind of just take your time in, like it'd be great. It'd be a great game to just kind of chip at for like a year or whatever, right? Just for example, so the first month of the year the first month is spring, right? I'm like more than halfway through the story and I'm on summer 1, which is only a month. So I've just kind of like sped through it. Also, here's this. You get requests and you unlock. You get the help stuff. You get to unlock stuff by doing like finding killing a thing or getting a thing, whatever. But it's a good.
This is the kind of busy quest work that I freaking love.
Yeah, there's a lot of this, and you can also do it. You can also talk to people. Hey, she likes me. That's cool.
Ooh,
I can't
hey.
date her. Her thing is blue. That means you can't date
Uh-huh.
her. Oh, actually, you can date her if you buy the DLC. She's a DLC
Oh, there you go.
dateable
That's what they
character.
just announced some DLC stuff. Yeah.
So let me see here.
Cool.
Let's hang out. I'll go grab a bite to eat. Okay, well, whatever. So sometimes they'll show a cutscene. I don't know why it's not showing it, but you can also do like quests for individual people too. Like you do,
Okay.
let's chat.
There's
If
so
they
much
have
relationship
something.
in this. It's wild.
Oh yeah, it's nuts. Let me go to bed and then I'll see if my girlfriend's here and we'll go on a date so I can show y'all what that is. Um,
Nice house, Zach.
yeah, thanks.
Wow. Ooh, la di da.
I have four of them. I have four little shrines in every village, and also at the end of
Nice.
the day, oh yeah, I before I saved here, I died in a boss fight, so it gave me a
Hey, but you
negative
didn't take
10.
late. That's good.
Yep.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, all the stuff you do accumulates XP called all-purpose
Hmm.
XP, which you can use to level up your skills. I'll show you guys the skills after this. But you use things, you do things, you get skills in that specific area, but then you get all-purpose XP to kind of use as extra for whatever. And then you get this at the end of the day, which is like you get total housing capacity, you get shipping
Oh,
income, business income, villager expenses.
oh my
Like you just
gosh.
get you get a bunch of stuff. So
Oh, there's management. I love it. There's management. I love it.
you have to make
Zach,
money.
Zach pulling out the spreadsheets.
Yeah, you have to make money or your villagers get mad, and then yeah, so it's like a whole thing. Yeah, let me go find my girlfriend. You can also have kids in this game, by the
Oh,
way, uh, which is crazy. Um, my girlfriend is the god of this
yeah.
area.
Okay.
There she is. She's like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years old or something.
Doesn't look a day over 1,500.
Nope. So yeah, so if they have quests for you, you can do you have any requests? And these requests will they'll level up
I love her request, by the
their
way. Plenty
stats.
little party, but have run out of alcohol to serve.
Oh yeah, she is an alcoholic. Spoiler alert.
But you can
Um,
fix her.
You
yeah,
can.
she let me into her house and there's just bottles everywhere. It's crazy. Okay. Yeah, let's grab a bite to eat. It didn't show a cutscene. I hate this game, dude.
Every
I
time
think
you're
it's
trying to
because you're
show
on
us
the
something,
stage. You're on the spot. It's a.
you're in streamer mode. They don't want you
Yeah.
streaming anyway.
There's a so you
That
can
lady.
take people out to like the river and to the lake to like go swim,
Uh-huh.
and I did that with her, and there's they all change into their bathing suit. And there's a moment where I audibly said, "Oh my god!" Because it was just, it was, I didn't expect it. There's a lot of jiggle going on. I was like, "Holy shit!
We
What is
did
this?"
it.
But yeah, I mean, this game's awesome. All the characters are sick. I love talking
Mhm.
to everyone. Invite out to the mountains. There we go. Yay! So we're going on a date. She does a little thing, and then she's like, "I enjoy myself. But how are you
Mm.
holding up? Make sure you don't overdo it." And you're like, "Thanks."
Doing that, she's make sure to have a glass of water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the she's the friend you've had since you were younger. Like, she has a crush on you character. You know what? I'll show you a different. I can show you summer region.
I beg to differ.
I can show you summer region. I can't show you anything past that. Sorry.
Mhm.
NDA, all that stuff.
Sure.
But so the summer region looks completely different
yeah.
than where we just were. And this is I designed this myself. This
Okay.
is These are houses I put down for
That's
the
cool.
villagers, and then I designed this little like river and some more houses, and then I put these guys down because they give a trading bonus, and
Mhm.
the summer village is a trading hub, so they're kind of focused on trading. So they have a lot of shops here. They have a lot of stores and things.
You've made a very Animal Crossing style village out here.
And there's this little farm that they have. This is a villager I wish I could date, but you can't for whatever reason. I don't know.
DLC baby, get the goth mommy going.
Dude,
DLC.
I was like, oh, but yeah. So let's see. I saw Exaginous say something. Let's see over here. You can go over here, go to wardrobe.
Hey,
here we go.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Rated R. Put us in the PG-13 area.
Dude, and they're just shaking around, just like, what the hell is this, dude? Yeah, it's awesome. I don't know if I can show this, but I'm gonna show it. Let's be a little risky. So there's a second kind of level here. You can fly around on a dragon in the sky, right? There's a bunch of islands you can visit.
You've collected the Dragon Balls.
It's very Skyward Sword. All these islands you can go to. You can like
see that over there? You can go there.
Land here.
Yeah, that famous line.
There's different areas with different things.
There's a lot of exploration in this game.
There's a lot of shit in this game, dude. But yeah, every area has open world spots to go to, things to do, but the progression is streamlined enough. Yeah, it's awesome. I like it a lot. Definitely get it if you like these games. The Jizo statue, yeah, there's a bunch here. Let me find one. There's one around the corner. Look there.
The Jizzo statue. There we go.
The Jizzo. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys my little.
I like that. That looks like that person just tried to kill you.
Yeah,
I understand it was a canned animation, but
he's training.
Yeah, cool. I know.
So yeah, here's this village's like commerce area. You have she sells, I think, she sells bread and like flour and stuff. And then he sells flowers. This automatically gives me sugar every day, so you got to come empty them out. You got salt, you got soy, and then these are their houses. And then if I teleport back here, you have a place to cook.
Oh, nice.
And
there you go.
You can cook all the food, and it gives you like this is how you heal, or you get like mind increases or whatever. And also for combat, there is a ton of weapons you can use.
There's so much
to craft. There's secondary weapons, and then skills. I forgot to. I said I'd show you, but I forgot skills. Where are they? Here. You got every weapon has its own skill tree.
Wow.
And then every sacred treasure has its own skill tree. And then social activities, self-improvement, chemistry, forging, construction, cooking, all have their own independent skill trees that you have to level up. Yeah.
This all looks incredibly neat. I will never touch this game. I am overwhelmed by this video. I'm like, no, I'm done.
It's awesome. Play it.
No.
No, I mean, like
it's not for me. But
rave reviews from Zach, and I've wanted to. I wouldn't say that I've ever wanted to dip in. I've always been Rune curious, but this one I think maybe just because visually it looks cool, and I need a little bit of. I hate to say I need a little bit of a break, but I think the way you explained this in Discord was, it's the kind of game where you can come back to it and kind of dip in, do your village stuff, do some questing, and let it sit and come back later. Yeah.
That's kind of the cool thing with like farming simulator games, or as they're called, Bokujo Monogatari is the actual genre. It's called farming life, whatever. With these games, it's like it's the Animal Crossing social stuff without being time gated by real life, right? So you can be like, I'm gonna play a week and then I'll get back to it in 2 days, whatever. So it's like it's really easy to kind of set your own like gated like periods. Unless you're me and you're like, I'm gonna play a whole month in a day, whatever. But yeah, I think these games are perfect for just put like, especially Stardew. Like you just play that, you're like, okay, put it down for a week. Okay, I'll play again. Put it down, like perfect. But this one, which is why I'm kind of hesitant because there's so much shit. You might forget something. Like, okay, do I need to put down another Daruma statue or whatever, But I don't know.
Cool. Okay. Well, I have been playing a few games. And
the first 3 hours side questing.
Yeah, no, we'll be done pretty quick. So I love my Playdate here. I love my little Playdate. And season 2, they announced it a little while back, and now it is live. So I'm going to share my screen here. I love the Playdate for this kind of the short bite-sized style games they have. Season 2 is, I think, 12 games over 6 weeks, plus something known as Blippo TV. So I'm going to go through the first 2 games that they've released: Dig Dino and Fulcrum Defender, and I'll talk about Blippo in a second. I'm going to actually record this capture. Begin screen capture. Cool. Okay, so Dig Dino. I freaking love digging games. I'm a big fan of like Steam World and Dig Dug and all that kind of stuff. And Dig Dino, you can't hear the audio, can you? Or no, you can't.
No, laughing at what Alexander was saying.
No, yeah. So this is essentially a very simple style digging game. Okay, let me turn the volume down on this guy. Essentially, you have been hired to help excavate dinosaur bones, among other things. Dig Dino is the name. And so you initially start by just digging on this little field. You'll dig, and you have that little number at the top right that you see. It says 77. That's how much energy you have. And the item below it is the shovel. That's the item that you currently have. And those little numbers next to it show you, how strong it is and how much energy it takes. Well, you can dig and you can find, I'm going to get this. Oh, it's just trash. I'm going to get more of this stuff. My first run, I'm like, well, that's kind of, I don't know if I love this. It just has kind of these, you either find something or you don't find something. And right now I'm finding a lot of trash, and that's it. You'll find a bone or whatever, a fossil. Then I come to find out, wait a minute, there's a second level underneath here. That must mean there's more. Wait, there's a third level underneath here. Oh, there's rocks. Oh, there's certain things. Oh, I can't break these rocks. Luckily, I bought a drill. So I'm going to switch to drill. And with the drill, I can get rid of these rocks. So you can start getting tools. Come on, break. There we go. And now I can dig here and see if there's anything interesting. What's nothing? Go another layer below. It's a bone, but I need to dig more to uncover it. So that's really kind of what this game is about. You're digging for bones, right? So, but I can only drill this rock if I uncover more. So it's simple in that respect, and I'll kind of show you what happens after your day is done. Oh, what's this? I found trash. That's it. I ran out of time. I ran out of energy. I got 5 trash and 1 coin. I made $10. Cool. I can go to camp after this thing. I can go to the workshop and I can improve my my energy level. I can upgrade my shovel. I can, get more diamonds because you can find precious stones and stuff instead of just coins. And they have this little dog over here, which lets you kind of sniff out bones and tells you where things are. There's a radar, which kind of pings things. But God, you're just kind of constantly playing and collecting things. And it's, this is the artifact zone. I found the sword, which is kind of cool. Look at this. The handle on this weapon shows it was used by giant reptilian heads, dinos with weapons. What were they fighting? So you can find all these little things, unidentified. And then you go to the Dino Lab and you can actually find bones. All right, I found a few bones for this dinosaur. Well, you find enough bones, you can actually get them. You can actually you essentially start putting them together and become dinosaurs. So it's kind of cool. You hit the little scan button, their DNA. It's really interesting from that standpoint, and it's just like a really simple concept. I'm gonna go here. You can unlock more. Obviously, you have to find enough fossils, find enough items. There it said find enough bones, and you just keep going on and on and on. And it's totally my type of little busy game where you're just kind of digging more and keep going. Let's see how far we can go. I found a gem. And yeah, and then you hit rocks. But it's just fun. Dig Dino, simple game, but works really well from that kind of fun and clean aesthetic and standpoint stuff. So yeah, I recommend it.
Cool game. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the home screen because I'm gonna go to the next game, which is Fulcrum Defender. Is this still capturing? Yes, still capturing. Fulcrum Defender. This is a JJ game because, excuse me. So Fulcrum Defender is essentially an Atari-style arcade. Let me go. I'm gonna hit the easy mode on this one, just kind of show you. You press up to fire and hold down to rapid fire. Okay, so but you rotate, hit up to fire. Up to fire.
This is a
and
JJ game.
You see, yeah. So the top left, those are your lives. The left above that little cross there is your how much energy you have, and you can run out and overheat if you're not careful. And that little circle keeps growing, and the more it grows, essentially it's like you're increasing your, I don't want to call it experience, but if it gets big enough, I'll show you right now. Bam, I can get an upgrade. So I'll do let's go with the wide. I like the wide one. I've used this. You press up to get. So look at that. I get shoot 2 now. And that's it. You can kind of keep upgrading. And it's just an arcade-like scoring game. You're just trying to rack up the most points, but it's simple enough as an idea. But there's one weapon which is kind of cool. See, overheating. I'm not going to get it. Oh, I made it just in time. But it's just real simple. You have to rotate. It takes a minute to kind of get it to rotate in the right spot. What I like about these is that some of them will come right at you, the little speck-like enemies, like a little bit like asteroids. They'll come right at you, or they'll sort of circle into your area. And you have to kind of survive a minute. And if you survive a minute, you get an upgrade. And if you keep upgrading, the goal is to just kind of last as long as you can. Keep upgrading, get better weapons or whatever whatever you want for your run. It's a little roguelike-ish, but it's just this kind of cool little concept of a way to make it. Bam. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, let's do. It was the mines that I kind of like. One of the mines. Okay, that was a different one. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So I'll hit the mine button. Check this sucker out. Bam. And you just kind of rotate the. It's just really kind of a fun. It works great with the crank. No jokes. 2 minutes. Hit the 2-minute mark. And yeah, Fulcrum Defender. It's so cool. It's just like a very arcade style, something I would have seen in like an 80s arcade. But because of the nature of I'm actually having a lot of fun playing this because the nature of the Playdate. Oh no, okay, I'm screwed. Can I launch? Okay, cool. I'll use this as my defense for now. The nature of this Playdate, it's designed for some of these smaller experiences, and I have some RPGs and stuff in here, but this is totally a fun game to have on this thing. Is if you want to just kind of kill some time, get some better scores, make another run or two. And yeah, Fulcrum Defender. And bam, let's see what special thing I get. Ooh, wide 2, 3 shots. Let's do that.
I really like the diegetic design. Of this game. It's
diegetic.
Really
is that Scientology? No, Dianetics.
Sometimes you gotta whip out those words, you know.
Yeah.
It just the visual design and how
Yes,
it's
totally.
implemented with the game. That's what that means. For I guess someone in the chat, I don't know, but
Yeah. Like
it
wet
does a
tricks, but it's dry
good
tricks.
job of telling you what's happening without telling you.
Yes. That's the Mario 1-1. You just kind of you figure out by doing.
That's
so yeah,
the
that's
yellow paint on the game. That
it's
makes
the
it
yellow paint on the game. Look at that. I'm recharging. Ah, there you go. So it's cool because then the playing field will change as you're playing.
It's like Fortnite. Okay, I get it now.
It is like Fortnite.
The storm's getting closer. We gotta go.
And I'm about to hit my next minute milestone here. As you can kind of see, every enemy you get, there you go. I've landed 4 minutes. Let's get this guy going. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna shoot.
This definitely is like a game that would have been on PSN in like 2008.
Yeah.
Like,
so there you go. Yeah, it's cool. Just really kind of cool. Different ways to do things, but I like it. Definitely like it. So yeah, that's Fulcrum Defender. Now, the last thing I want to showcase, and this is really wild, is Blippo Plus. Didn't know what Blippo Plus was, and you can't hear it, but Blippo Plus, Blippo, whatever, is essentially a television station. It's a weird like television broadcast. So you kind of see it's like the old TV Guide channel. Like, look, Lens on Life is taking place right now. Dance of the Things and Boredom. There's channels on Femtofax. So let's just click this.
Berserk.
Femtofax. So you can go to different channels and see what's on these different channels. And they are releasing new things all the time to Blippo Plus. It's almost like they're weird, like
this is
completely experimental.
Yeah, this is coming to Steam. It's been on. They announced this like before season 2. Even that was one of the things, like wishlist it now on Steam.
Oh, is it on Steam right now, or
it's not on Steam, but like it's on Steam. You can wishlist it as
got it.
Yeah. So this is going to be on Steam,
and it's cool. It's like you can watch a little cowboy show, which is like, what the heck.
I think
there's a whole meditation channel, which was kind of cool that I was actually watching.
They call it non-demand.
Non-demand. There you go.
Yeah.
The meditation one is kind of cool. There's Snacks Come Alive. Learn to cook with Purple Soil Brain. Just cool. It's a really weird little thing to include, but
it's like that DS 3DS video channel where you would boot it up every once in a while, and there'd just be like some absolutely unhinged
and I love
cartoon wedged between like the new OK Go music video.
And I love just the super lo-fi, like they purposely went lo-fi graphics with this, and they're loving the use of the lo-fi.
It's like the dithering is just a mess.
Dithering, that's the
funniest way. Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. Good. It looks like share. Cool little thing to have in there. And yeah, all these different quote unquote channels are. You see it, tantric computing, hotkeys, hardwares, and steamy circuits.
Like Sting, yeah.
And just some of these things you just watch, some of them you interact with. But yeah, so Playdate Season 2, and it's already working well, friends. It's already a cool thing. So I would, if you get a chance, if you're the owners of a Playdate, and you should be at this point because a lot of cool things you can do, I would recommend getting both Season 1 and Season 2. Season 1 was fun because it was just a kind of a collection of games. Season 2 is like straight up, let's actually, now that developers have had this thing for a year or 2 years now, right? They know what their limits are when it comes to the different things they can start to do. So looks like I need to
go to itch.io. There is some crazy Playdate stuff on itch.io.
Yeah, I've sideloaded a bunch of things from itch onto, before they had their big like catalog sale thing, you would sideload things from like itch, and they let you do it. There's like, hey, have fun with this thing. It's a good developer. They encourage it. Yeah. So good stuff. Last thing, and we'll get done with this hopefully in the next 10 minutes so we can log off for the night. Showcases this week, and I figured let's spend a minute or two with a few predictions as to what we might see. I'm thinking three things that we would want or kind of confident in, and then one just kind of crazy harebrained one. And that's what we've kind of done that in the past. Feel free, people in the comments to tell us, shout at us. But let's go with three that we think are cool or possible, and one that's crazy out there. Who wants to go first?
I defer to Zach.
Let's see here. I didn't come with a list prepared. So
that's all right.
You're welcome. Half-Life 3.
Oh yeah, okay.
I say that will happen. I have faith. Actually, sure.
That'd be wild. There'd be no reason to do that, which would make it so funny.
Let's see here.
Okay.
Halo.
Okay.
Will be revealed on a new platform.
Okay.
Keep it vague, because it could happen to be on the Apple thing.
Oh, true. Okay. Yeah.
That'd be actually kind of neat. The Apple
Marathon back on Apple.
It would be a nice little full circle moment for Apple to have Halo on their thing. Anyways, let's see. I'm trying to think anything cool. I mean, I guess I said it in the Discord. Persona 6 feels like it's about time for a Persona drop. Or if not Persona 6, Persona 4 Golden remake.
Oh, whatever. Okay,
yeah. One of those is going to happen. Both could happen too. And then
your crazy
one. I used to always just say Death Stranding too, but
now that's actually happening. Yeah.
And then I would also used to say Okami too, and that was also happening. So my wild predictions are taken away from me. Let's do Bloodborne port.
Ooh.
Sure.
Okay.
Switch to Bloodborne.
JJ, do you want to go or should I?
I'll go.
Okay.
I think we'll see that. Let's see. Max Payne 3 remastered.
Okay. Yeah.
It's been kind of tossed around a little bit, and with the remakes and stuff coming on, just sort of bringing Max Payne 3 only needs some modern day.
It doesn't need much. That game looks awesome.
It looks awesome, and it plays really well. So I played through it very recently, and it plays pretty well. It just could use a little bit of some modernization, just a kiss. Wipeout.
Oh, a Wipeout return.
A new Wipeout game. I mean, they had one on the PS4 that was really good. So, and they even had like VR options and stuff with it too.
That's right. So, yeah.
Wipeout return. I want to do a vague one, but I expect to see like another like classic kids like 80s cartoon to get like a modern day like side scrolling like Toxic Crusaders and Ninja Turtles and stuff has been Rugrats and stuff have been doing. I expect to see something. I kind of feel like something like that. I don't know what universe. Yeah, like Masters of the Universe, even something dumb because like IDW or Dynamite just announced somebody that new comic for Street Sharks. And there's kind of a Street Sharks thing, Biker Mice from Mars, something weird. A Transformers is always an option, but I what
was that UFO the UFO dinosaur thing from another planet or that show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's check what my shot.
What's a long shot? Yeah.
Haunted Chocolatier footage.
Oh.
Who knows?
That is a long shot for sure. All right, mine are. I wrote down a few here. I think we'll see the Xbox handheld because Microsoft's going to go look at all the different Xbox devices.
Now, when you
right?
say
They had their
handheld, do you
market,
mean like the
Asus one
Asus,
or whatever,
the
yeah,
Lenovo with the button, or the
yeah,
ROG
whatever that
Ally,
is, yeah, that's basically them saying, yeah, we're not doing our own. Stay tuned, but look at all the different things we got for Xbox stuff. Part of me was gonna say the actual next Xbox, like here it is,
the Steam
but
box.
yeah, but because they're in a dire place with their hardware, but I don't know if now's the time to announce it or next.
if there was another Xbox, whether it be a new one or a refresh, a revision, or anything, we would have heard something louder than what we've heard at this by this point, because usually, especially with Xbox, those rumblings come hard and heavy.
They do
beforehand. It's a little more quiet with some of the other people, but Microsoft in particular, you really start hearing.
I'm going to say you took Halo from me. I do think there'll be something in Halo potentially, but I'm going to throw in we're finally going to get more Perfect Dark info.
Oh yeah, that's right. They announced that.
I forgot about that game.
Yeah,
everybody did. So I think that's probably coming. Remember, the Xbox announced like a bajillion games, and no one knows what's happened to them.
One of them's come out.
Yeah,
Indiana Jones.
So. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So I think we'll get some info on that because that was supposed to launch. Was it this year or next year? I don't know. I know Fable is supposedly next year or later this year.
Delayed for
a million times.
So.
Yeah, Indiana Jones. That DLC's got to pop up soon.
Somewhere. It's out, isn't it? Or
no.
Oh, okay. It's soon though. Yeah. I think I want to see the next Wolfenstein. But I don't think we'll see anything because Doom just came out, so I don't think they're announced that.
Games has been busy.
Yeah. Because I was thinking Quake again, just because of how Quake centric Dark Ages.
There's a bunch of Final Fantasy Tactics HD remaster rumor, so I'm gonna say that.
Long time coming.
Yeah, my Final Fantasy Tactics, and then my long shot is a. It's weird. It is a long shot, but my long shot is that we'll get a proper big Sony first party release later this year. That's my long shot. None of the stuff that has been sort of leaking here and there has been a big thing. You got Naughty Dog is working. What's that?
One of them's a lie.
One of them's a lie. Obviously Interstellar is years off. The game with Death Strand or the Death Stranding developer team Kojima is so far off. And Fat Princess on Switch 2. I could see that happening. So I don't know. Some big Sony and Wolverine. Who knows what's happening with that? But I think we're gonna get that. That's my long shot. Is an actual first-party PlayStation game coming because Microsoft sells more games on Sony platforms than Sony does. So
it'd be cool. It'd be wild if they showed anything Wolverine related.
I had that on my list. I had Wolverine on my list, but
do we think the Spider-Man 2 DLC is actually just all got canceled?
I think they even said it was.
Yeah,
I think they're done. It's done.
That's crazy.
No, yeah.
Because I was thinking about that. I was like, "Where's the Spider-Man 2 stuff?"
Yeah.
It's funny too because it's not like despite the opinions we have on it, it's not like that game was a failure by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
But they treated it like it was. It was crazy.
You know what? We'll see another Horizon remaster.
Lego Horizon 2.
There you go. But yeah, I don't know. Nintendo stuff, I don't know because I think they're gonna have something like a direct in the next couple weeks. I kind of feel like they have to at least give some dates on certain things. But I don't know. I don't think they're gonna have. I think they're treating Metroid and Pokemon as their big fall games.
That's the games they want you to buy for Christmas.
Yeah.
Because Bonanza comes out in a month.
Yep.
And we'll get a direct for that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy.
We'll get a trailer for Dragon Drive at the Summer Game Fest. That's the big Nintendo thing.
Yeah. We'll put out that $10 demo thing
that you pre-ordered for sure that you're getting. Yeah, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's what I got. If you guys have more,
I got your Metroid release date right here. I'm calling it right now.
Oh, let's make a prediction. Go ahead.
Let's say September.
That was my guess.
Let's see. What is a Tuesday? Actually, no. Friday is Nintendo.
Friday. I would say it's Nintendo. It's
September 19th.
9/19 for Metroid Beyond.
When was so Pokemon's October 16th. I'm also thinking, I was thinking Metroid as well. So I got to pick a different, I was thinking September as well. I got to pick a different date. Let's go with
you can just agree.
9/19 is good.
It's a good
dang
date.
Man.
It's a good date.
I'll just go the week before. I'll just go to the 12th. Just to
the
give
day after 9/11.
The day after 9/11, which is when Metroid Prime 1 came out, right? Right around, was it right around that time? Like, they're gonna say, here's the 24th anniversary of nothing.
Never forget this anniversary of
Metroid
Prime.
What about you, JJ?
Man, I don't even know anymore. I like Zach's September 19th, and I'm not going to change it. I agree with Zach. Heart and soul.
I think we're all around there. Yeah, it's. I think that's a great number.
September. Metroid is September. Period.
Yeah.
I feel like that's. I feel like that's safe.
Kirby.
Stefan's just listing games that he likes in the chat.
That's a good joke though.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, feel free to give us some more predictions if you guys want. It's in the chat or in the Discord where you can find us on the SideQuesting.com Discord. That's where we're all located. Thank you everybody who joined in, chatted with us. Like I said, I'm going to see Exadramoose on tomorrow evening. We're gonna maybe potentially just be the comic dog, whatever that was, the puppet. We're gonna walk in and call everybody a nerd. Triumph the insult dog, and then call everybody a nerd while we're also holding our Wii's out the window. Side quest.
Which one of you is gonna say the F slur? Is it gonna be you or...
Front mission. So yeah, SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV on YouTube and Twitch. You can find us all on Blue Sky in different ways. But hop in the Discord, and if you get a chance to be a Patreon, you don't have to be a Patreon. But thank you for everybody who is a Patreon.
Be a Patreon.
Yeah. And JJ came up with a really cool idea, something that I was thinking about, and I have like a software version I was messing around with of this. But for the top, I think maybe the top level Patreon member, we'll see. We'll figure it out of who and what gets this. Maybe we'll introduce another tier. We'll see. But something kind of fun that could be really interesting that we will be doing on the monthly. So yeah. With that said, thank you, JJ. Thank you, Zach. Thank you for sticking around so late. Awesome games, awesome conversation, an awesome evening. A really good show tonight. We have a lot of Oh, yay! Wish I could make that the largest. Wait, how do I? Of course, I did the wrong one. Not me. Get the doggy. I want the doggy, the large. How do I make this solo late? There we go.
Oh, that face.
Figured it out. The puppy was looking at the comments there.
Yeah.
What's your doggo's name?
This is Bronson.
Bronson. Aw. Bronson, when do you think Metroid's releasing? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I named him after the movie Bronson.
Tom Hardy? Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. That movie whips ass. So
yeah, it does. Well, he was like a little like fluff ball when we got him, and I was like, it was Bronson.
Aw. My dudes, I love you guys. Thank you again. Go get some sleep. I'm going to get some sleep. And we have a hell of a few days coming up here. I'm going to be at Summer Game Fest.
You definitely have more a hell of a few days than the rest.
Yeah, I'll be at Summer Game Fest, and then come to find out that Money in the Bank is taking place at 3:30. Actually, on that Saturday, I already have some appointments. I'm going to be on the Giant Bomb couch at some point. I don't know what day, so be ready.
Fellow independent journalists.
Yeah,
that's just what I say every time.
My shirt comes in, I have a very special shirt. By the way, if you're on that top tier Patreon level, you get a free shirt. Which will be in our shop as well. You're not a top tier Patreon member, JJ, but you can buy one. We're gonna set up a side.
The only reason they're subscribed to the Patreon is because of me. Let's be real.
Exactly. No, that's true. But we'll have a. Here's the best part. I ordered these shirts and they're badass. You'll see me. I'll wear. Should I bring one over to show you guys?
No, keep it a surprise.
I ordered shirts, 2 shirts, and I had them done through. I ordered them through Amazon just to get them here quicker. And they both came in. I was all excited. I'm like, cool. It was a quick turnaround to make these custom shirts. Awesome colors, great graphic. And I'm like, well, this is a very light bag. And I took the shirts out, and they were small size and not the large or extra large that I had ordered. I was very bummed out. So, yep, great quality shirts. But we had to reorder. So it should come in tomorrow, which would be perfect. But I'll be wearing, hopefully it does. I will be wearing it during some part of my tenure at Summer Game Fest. A lot of stuff happening. Expect a lot of coverage from us, both from me there, the dudes here. We still got some reviews going up. We're going to do a podcast probably Tuesday next week after I've recovered. Maybe there'll be a co-stream if any of you guys want to co-stream. we'll make Sam co-stream the Summer Game Fest if you want. He does a good job of that. But with that, I'll let y'all go. We love you guys. I love you two wonderful dudes. I love all the viewers and listeners, and we'll see you on the next episode of the SideQuest Tools.